Let's get into it. Coach Colin News here. You're about to see a vicious case of F around and find out. And here's the thing, before I show you the video, this just goes to show you how emotional people get when it comes to what they feel should be happening politically. In this case, it's a pro-Palestine woman who's speaking in front of city council. Mind you, they're talking about ceasefire talks, which city council in California has no jurisdiction over. They cannot make any decisions. It is not possible. People get so emotional about things like this, but then also when they're looking at the other side, the opposition, their empathy, their humanity, their sympathy, it's all gone. You know, a good version of what I'm talking about is like how the people look at Trump. Something terrible, something, God forbid, terrible could happen to Trump, and people would be like, good. Something could happen to one of his kids, and people would be like, yeah, that's what he gets for charging too much for that house. Yup, that's karma. It's nuts. And this girl's the same thing. She thought she could just say whatever she wanted to these people just because they're on the opposite side, she feels, of what she thinks should be happening in the world. Let's get into it. Let's start with this.
My name is rder. I'm here to speak in support of the City Council introducing a ceasefire resolution, specifically the one United Liberation Front has drafted. I don't have faith that you'll do this. You guys are all horrible human beings, and Jesus probably would have killed you himself. And the thing is, though, it's very clear to me as someone who's been an organizer for the past couple of years that none of you care, because you guys don't care about anything happening in Palestine or any other country where oppression occurs, because you don't care about the oppression occurring here. And I understand that you guys are all horrible people, but the thing is, 2,300 people being evicted in the last year, those are votes. And you guys, those are votes to win here in Bakersfield. And while you guys parade Gandhi around as a Hindu holiday called Chaitra Navratri starts off this week, I remind you that these holidays that we practice, that other people in the global south practice, believe in violent revolution against their oppressors. And I hope one day somebody brings the guillotine and kills all of you. The increased criminalization for no need other than you don't like when people come and hold you guys accountable for introducing ceasefire resolutions, because the only escalation in violence has been by you all, and so there's no need to continue. In the last 5 years I've attended city council meetings, there's never been metal detectors, there's never been more cops. The only reason you're doing it is because people actually don't care if you guys don't like them, and they're actually resisting, so you want to criminalize them. So regardless of whether you elect people into office, they'll backstab you, they'll let you die, and for that reason, you guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors? We'll see you at your house. We'll murder you.
Next speaker, please.
Lance, followed by Kev, followed by Valeria.
Ms. Patel, that was a threat, what you said at the end, and so the officers are going to escort you out and take care of that.
Absolutely crazy. And yes, it was a threat. Let's move on. What do you think happened to this lady? Now, it could be anything, right? I'm giving you a guess. She's in California. You never know in California. This is not Texas. You know what would happen to her in Texas. This is California. What do you think happened to her next? Let's look into this. And again, just thought she could just say whatever she wanted to these people. Let's get into it.
That was a threat, what you said at the end, and so the officers are going to escort you out and take care of that.
After those words, 28-year-old rder Patel was escorted out of the meeting and arrested by police. Councilman and Vice Mayor Andre Gonzalez says things have gone too far.
And to have that type of a threat in that type of public setting is completely inappropriate, unproductive, and it's deeply concerning.
Last month, the city increased security measures at meetings, leaving many questioning the timing, including Patel.
You guys want to criminalize us with metal detectors? We'll see you at your house. We'll murder you.
Gonzalez says her threats prove the measures are needed now more than ever.
Personally, I think it's warranted. The city can't function, City Hall and City Council cannot function during a public council meeting if we're continuously being disrupted.
Patel was arrested on 8 felony counts of threatening with intent to terrorize, and bail set at $1 million. Gonzalez says threats will not make the council move towards a resolution.
Sit at the table like adults and exchange ideas and go back and forth and really try to figure out how we can find a path together. But it's not making real threats, violent threats to elected officials, to decision makers. That is not the way to influence others. Nobody on the city council will be intimidated to action.
Pro-Palestinian group the United Liberation Front said in a statement it, quote, condemns any statements that threaten public officials and that the statements by Patel, quote, counter to our values and do not represent United Liberation Front.
How about that? How about that? She actually got arrested. It's amazing. You know what? I'm going to show you some more clips. I'm going to show you her court hearing and everything. I'm almost on her side. You know why? Because she's in California. She's like, I robbed 3 stores before I got here. A police officer gave me a ride right to city council. There was no charges. I don't understand. There's people burning down buildings over there. There's squatters over there. Gavin Newsom standing on top of a building just laughing like a Batman character. I thought I could just do whatever I wanted. Then all of a sudden she's like, cuffs? What? You guys still have cuffs? Oh my God. What? Watch my head. Yeah. She's in California. She's like, I thought we could do whatever we wanted here. I don't understand. She's probably on the way to the police station. She's probably like, can we rob at least one Gucci store before I get brought in? Cops like, yeah, all right, we'll stop at a Gucci store. You can rob it. Just no more than $2,000. Okay. All right. Couple Gucci belts. As she's so stupid, so ridiculous, man. But again, when people are all wrapped up in this, especially this Israel-Palestine stuff, people just think you're on the other side. That makes you a demon, and I can say whatever I want to you. I don't have to worry about the law. Think about what the conversation was about. Even think about that city councilor that I just showed you talking. They're like talking to real decision makers. You guys are talking about a ceasefire in Gaza. No party in that whole thing has any power whatsoever. What are you going to do? You're going to like hand a thing to Gavin Newsom and be like, we say ceasefire. And Gavin's going to be like, okay, all right, cool. I'll see what I can do. What do we think's happening? So crazy. And you know what's funny? Her whole argument, everything that she just got arrested for, everything that she's getting charged for now. I'm going to show you this court hearing in a second. Everything she just got charged for has everything to do with other nations. She's talking about Gandhi. She's talking about Hindu holidays. She's talking about Gaza, Israel. What's going on? What's going on right now in America? I have some other videos that I'm doing today that show more just wildness in America, the things that are happening, the things that people are okay with. They have their feet on American soil and they're okay saying and doing the most un-American things possible. Is so beyond me. It's so beyond me, man. It's so crazy. Let's hear a court hearing. Check this out. Okay. So you saw the F around. Here's the find out part.
It's a criminal threats, which is a felony, and then
those are felonies as well.
yes. And then 8 counts of threatening a public official
for bail, there has been a 1275 motion signed by a judge. Therefore, that will remain in full force and effect until there is a 1275 hearing heard. So bail is set at $1 million at this time.
$1 million. Wow. Look at her, sad, crying. And it almost is sad when you look at it. Cuz it's like you're in America. You have all the opportunity in the world. You can pursue so many different things. Like Andrew Schultz was talking to Joe Rogan. He's like, you have the ability to be great. In fact, people expect you to try and be your greatest self. You have the ability to go pursue it. And you may not have much. You may be working class. You may be in poverty like I was. But you have the option. You have the option to strive for it, fight for it every day. And what you're choosing to do is go to city council meetings and threatening to kill people who won't aid you in having a ceasefire come in Gaza because you're pro-Palestinian. Man, do we have any idea what would happen if everyone in America just became pro-America? And just became America first? Do you have any idea what would happen? Oh, man. People always talk so badly about Make America Great Again. That slogan. What does that mean? What are you talking about, slavery? If everybody would just embrace that and just be like, yeah, we're going to make this the greatest place on earth. It already is the greatest place on earth. We're going to bring it now to our above what standards have been set in the past 4 years. We're going to bring it far above that. It's going to be the greatest place ever in recorded history. I wish people would do that. I wish they would. It's crazy. It's crazy that they don't think about that. It makes no sense to me that you could be so caught up in what's going on in Gaza. And I get it. It's terror. I've seen the film. I've seen the videos and the buildings, and I've seen it all. But to be more wrapped up in that than you live in California and you're not wrapped up in what's going on in California, it just baffles me. You know Philadelphia, you know Kensington, Philadelphia, which is like fentanyl central. You know that place exists, and you want to know about what's going on in Israel and Gaza. You don't want to stop whoever's bringing in that fent, but you want to have claim to stop Israel from doing what they're doing. And listen, hey, you can hold both. You can be somebody who wants both to stop. I get that. But the fact that the attention isn't there, it's literally like watching a house across the street, watching its foundation erode, and your house has eroding foundation and it's on fire. And you're like, man, I really hope Ken gets his house straightened out. Oh, man. Let's go help Ken. Let's go. Your wife's arm's on fire. Come on, honey. Let's go help Ken. Your kid's upstairs screaming. You're like, let's see what we could do over there. What? Here's another video. Listen to this.
Patel appeared in court on Friday for a felony arraignment. She is facing 18 charges, 10 of them threatening with intent to terrorize, 8 of which threatening a public official. Now, Patel did plead not guilty. Her bail was set at $1 million. She is due back in court on April 24th at 9 a.m. for one hearing, and then her next hearing is set for April 25th at 8:30 a.m.
During the arraignment hearing, several people in the gallery were there in support of Patel. While searching for information on her in preparation for this story, 23ABC learned that Patel is the Economic Development Coordinator for the Center for Race, Poverty, and the Environment, according to the organization's website and her LinkedIn profile. As part of Patel's biography on the organization's website, she, in part, quote, prioritizes highlighting the intersectionality that comes with the environmental justice movement to achieve collective liberation for all oppressed communities. In her spare time, she enjoys holding elected officials accountable, end quote. We reached out to the organization for comment on the matter, and a media representative said, quote, we will not be making any comments, end quote. The United Liberation Front, a pro-Palestinian group that has been advocating for a ceasefire in Gaza at Bakersfield City Council meetings, said in a statement following the incident at Wednesday night's council meeting that they, quote, condemn any statements that threaten public officials, end quote, and they advised attendees at the council meeting to not disrupt the proceedings and that after public comments, they would leave the meeting room.
Now, as part of the felony arraignment hearing, the judge presiding over the case did say that if Patel were to bond out, that she must stay at least 500 yards away from several city buildings, as well as the victims named in the case, namely the city officials that she allegedly threatened.
Allegedly. We'll murder you. Alleged. She might. And the best part is she pled not guilty. If I was a judge, I'd be like, you're pleading not guilty? I'll take 3 of the charges off, but you got to plead guilty. This is ridiculous. Like, we're going to waste time doing this? Wow. I would just press a button. We'll murder you. And she walks off. Walks off like as if she's like, that was my Malcolm X moment. I'm Malcolm X. I'm Nelson Mandela. I'm Martin Luther King. Yeah. I got them. We'll come to your house. They're like, you can't say that. She's like, I don't understand. What? I'm being charged 18 counts. And it's so, again, it's actually really sad because you have 18 felonies. Yeah, you're going to plead not guilty. Your life's going to be derailed. She's probably going to get released from both of those places where she actually worked or she's a part of. What are you going to do after that? And then on top of that, it's all over the internet. Everywhere. Everybody knows about this. It's been covered by everybody. What are you going to do now? That's the girl who, if she doesn't get her way, she's going to threaten to come to your house. So ridiculous. You know, it's really insensitive, you know, but at the same time, I'm going to say it. Why don't you go over to those places? That's my thinking. If you really, really, really are passionate about it, why don't you go there? And listen, I've actually seen people do that. I know a guy, not even Israeli, but Jewish dude, went to Israel, joined the army, and that was almost, 10 years ago? He's been in the army for 10 years. He was like, I think this is how I feel. I'm going over there. I'm going to actually be a part of this conflict because this is how I feel. Why don't you go do that? Go over there. Go see how it goes. Go see how it is. Because let me tell you something. That guy is deep in his convictions and his beliefs, but he still has seen some stuff. Why don't you go over there? Forget about Starbucks. Forget about what's going on. America's no good, right? Forget about it. Go over there. Go over to the Middle East. Check it out. Hang out for a while. See how it goes. And you know what? That should be a thing. When there's like protesters and they're in the streets of New York and they're screaming and yelling, there should be, I know this sounds terrible, people should get rounded up and brought over to the places that they're talking about. Not forever. I'm just saying it's a quick field trip. Okay, just a quick field trip just to check it out, see how things are, see if you want to plant your feet here, really dig into those convictions. Go ahead, check it out a little bit, see if you like it. Maybe you want to stay. Maybe you want to fight. I don't know. I mean, you know, like Scared Straight. You ever seen Scared Straight where the kids think they're gangsters, right? And then all of a sudden there's a big guy, bigger than me, and he's like, ah! And he's yelling in the guys' faces, little kids' faces. It should be that. You should have to go over there and just be around these people for a while. And not even be around these people, be in their conditions. And really see if this is what you want to be fighting for while you're in the greatest country to ever exist. And again, before I go, I'll say you could hold both. You could feel like you just want to be comfortable in America and you also want to fight for the Middle East. But there's so many things going on here that need attention. So many. Throughout North America. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. That's just the way I feel. But as you saw, a vicious case of F around and find out. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't F around. Use your discernment. Use your mind before you decide to say things that you're going to forget. You know, there's a saying. Dr. Eric Thomas once said, he said, your feelings will take you to places you never wanted to go and keep you there longer than you wanted to stay. And that's what she's experiencing. Because I'm pretty sure she's not getting her bail at $1 million. I'm pretty sure no one's doing that for her. So have fun in there. Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, share. I'm out.